Hello. When last we left off, we stopped here at the dashboard in WordPress. I'm going to log out and then log back in, just in case you spent some time doing other stuff and are now coming upon this fresh. So let's do that. I'm going to log out. So where it says Howdy Admin in the top right-hand corner, I'm gonna log out. Oh my god! No, stop clicking. There we go. Okay. So we're back at the login area. If you turned MAMP off, you have to remember to turn MAMP on again to access your site because MAMP is mimicking the server environment. Remember. So if you turn MAMP off, open MAMP. Turn MAMP on again. It'll automatically fire up that this thing at the front of your on your browser, and hopefully it'll work just fine. And then enter the following. You want to go to localhost :8888, and you should see something like this. Basically, this is an index of any site you have put in the htdocs folder inside the MAMP folder. If you're just doing this for the first time, like I just did with you earlier, then you should only have one, and it's probably called My Site. And if you click that, it should open this, which is the way your site looks right now. This is the default 2020 theme for WordPress. It comes installed with this, as well as a couple other ones. And we're going to change this, of course, but for now we'll work with it. If you want access to the dashboard, you click in your URL on top and type in wp-admin, hit return, and it's going to bring you to the login area again. And our super simple login from last we spoke was admin for your username, and the password was that 123456. Click login, and you are at the dashboard, just like we were. If you open it up and you're like if you're just picking up where we left off before, and this is what you see, then that's hopefully it looks the same as yours. Okay. I'm going to draw your attention to the customize your site area. Actually, yeah, let's do that. So, well, maybe before we do that, we'll just take a look at the site again. So if I hold the command key down, command click on my site, it opens up a new tab, and this is what your site actually looks like. You'll notice there's there's your title, and then it says just another WordPress site. We can change that. And your navigation bar only has one page right now. It comes with a sample page, and there's a default search button at the top right-hand corner where you would expect to see it probably. This is again where all of those things would show up. And then if you look here, you'll see that something uncategorized shows up and it says Hello World. There's a default post that gets installed with WordPress as well. It's always called Hello World. And you'll also see that there is some other stuff, archives and categories and recent posts and all that stuff. If you click Hello World, it shows you the Hello World post, and it shows you that someone has commented on it. And this, again, is just a default comment that happens. And brings you down to your footer and all that stuff too. Okay. What we're going to do, first of all, is try to write a logo into our header here somewhere. And to do that, we need to get access to our dashboard again. So I just opened up a new tab. I'm going to go back to my other one. And then you'll see at the very front here, this whole Welcome to WordPress thing kind of walks you through the first sort of things that you could do. Write your first blog post, add an about page, set up your home page, all that stuff. The first thing we're going to do is actually upload an icon, a logo and make that appear on our homepage in the top left-hand side. Hopefully, every theme is different. That's one thing you'll start to realize the more you use this. Every single theme is different, and some of them do wacky things, and some of them are incredibly robust. The one I'm going to give you, which is called Divi, D-I-V-I, is a really robust theme. Allows you to do a lot of stuff by dragging and clicking, that kind of stuff, as opposed to doing any kind of code. There you still might need to tweak a few things with it, but by and large it works quite well. So let's customize our site. So if you click Customize Your Site, it opens up this, and you'll see it opens up the front page, and it tells us that our active theme is 2020, and that we are customizing my site. I'm going to close this little window here. And then under Site Identity, you see there's a site title. And if you don't want the tagline there, you can just highlight it and delete it. Maybe you don't need people to know that it's a WordPress site. Okay. Now again, I'm new to this theme, so I'm going to pause and learn something first. Okay, so we're going to add a logo. If you notice on the left-hand side, it says Retina logo scales the logo to half its uploaded size, making it sharp on high-res screens. Sounds like a good thing. Under Site Icon, it says Site icons are what you see in browser tabs. And you're going to upload one here. And it tells you that it should be square and at least 512 by 512 pixels. Right. What we want to add is a logo. Select logo. Site icon is the thing that shows up where the little eye is up here in the URL, little tiny little thing. And what we want is a site logo that'll show up to the left of the title in our site. I think actually it's going to replace our title. That happens sometimes with WordPress themes. So I'm going to select a logo, except that we don't have any images at all in our media library. So we're going to upload those. I gave you a file folder full of images, just kind of test images, random things that I found that we can use for this workshop. We're going to add all those things to the library at once. So select files, takes a minute, and then we're going to navigate to the folder that we had that I gave you. It might my folder name is different than yours because I'm modifying this from an older presentation. But in images, you should see Anchor City logo right at the top. And I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to open. And then it should add them all. And it takes a little while because we're adding so many of them. While this is happening, I'm going to talk a little bit about images. Images in WordPress, you need to keep them pretty small. You need to keep your eye on their file size. It'll definitely slow things down if you have big images. I'm thinking about your portfolios. If you have really large images, that's not going to work super well. Okay, now here it's suggested image dimensions are 240 by 180, and ours is 512 by 512. So let's see what happens. I'm going to select that. By the way, we're going to use this Anchor City Rollers logo. I'm going to select it. It's also a JPEG, which isn't really the best thing to use for a logo, especially one like this. It could be an SVG or it could be a PNG file. This is just what I had handy, so I'm going to skip cropping. And there we go. It shows up right there. And then we're pretty good. Oh, all right. I should hit publish. That's the big important thing. Nothing happens until you hit publish. Nothing. Hit publish. And then this should show up on our actual site. Okay, so if I jump over to my site tab on my browser, and it's already refreshed. Oh, wait a minute. I think that's from earlier. Yeah, refresh it, and you should see it. And you'll see that it has, in fact, replaced the My Site title, which, frankly, you probably don't need anyway. We can add stuff like that afterwards, too, if we need to. All right. Let's go back and talk about some of the other things we see there. Okay, so if I click this little arrow back here, that takes us to the other things we can change. So there, in this again, these are all different depending on what theme you're using. We're using the default 2020 theme. You'll notice that there are all kinds of different things you can do here. Like we can change the background color behind things. In fact, if I do that right now, and change that, we can select header and footer background colors. And again, if I change the background color of the header, this is a JPEG and it's not transparent, so I'm going to leave it as white. Always go back. And then under theme options, there's a bunch of things we can change here. And again, that changes depending on the theme. We've got a cover template. Parallax effect. That sounds like fun. Overlay text color. Cool. Okay. Here we can upload a background image if we wanted to. I'm going to not do that just yet. And this is an important area. Menus. We can decide where menus are going to be, what they're going to be called, and we can actually make custom menus as well. Widgets. Widgets are these little applications that you put in a website to do things like, for a search area, or if you want to show your recent posts, or if you have a calendar, or they're like little programs that add functionality to things. Okay. And then our homepage settings. So this is actually an important one because right now what we're doing is we're seeing our latest posts. WordPress assumes you're going to be starting up a blog, even though that's really not generally what people use it for anymore, I guess. So you can set it up so it's a static page. We'll do that a little bit later. Right now, let's leave it this way so that we can see something. And then over here is where you would actually customize your CSS. If you wanted to change something, you could do that in this area here. There's one other area you could do that as well. The danger of customizing your CSS right inside an actual theme is that if you upgrade or update the theme, and some themes update every couple of months, it'll erase all of your CSS, all of your custom CSS. So the best way to deal with that is to create a child theme, and that's something we'll talk about later. Okay, let's back out of here. Yeah, I didn't make any changes. Let's just publish it just to make sure that I did. I'm pretty sure I did. Okay, and so now we can talk about pages.